Welcome back to Animated Movies Recaps. At the beginning of the story, when a girl was flying a kite in the sky, she sees a green dragon flying in the sky. She tells her mom about it. She ignores to what she says because she was busy on the phone. This dragon was ridden by green creature Ogglies, who lived on garbage and ate garbage. As they found out that there is a lot of garbage in the city, they came here in their dragon. Seeing so much garbage, Ogglies become happy. On the other hand, the citizens were very upset with the garbage in their city. There was stench everywhere. That's why other people stopped coming to their city. That's why all the parks and restaurants in the city were going to loss. The mayor of the city was also very upset because of this whole situation. That's why his son Max, along with his professor, was making a machine to solve all these problems. They were making a machine to end the garbage. Max now gets a call from his friend who is calling him near the pile of garbage where he and the professor are already going. They were going to experiment their machine for the first time there, but Max's mom had told him to play music. He makes an excuse from his mom and comes out of the house, and his mom goes to her dad's office. The mayor, who was very upset about the city's condition, was not understanding anything that what steps should be taken to make his city like before. Seeing this problem, his wife sends him on a 2-day vacation, and she becomes the mayor of the city for a few days, where a builder comes to meet her. The builder had a plan to make the city better. He wanted to take all the garbage from the city and make a new mall instead of garbage. To see this, more people would visit his city, and the city would gain greatly. Mrs. Mayor liked the idea of the builder a lot. On the other hand, near the pile of garbage, we were now looking at Max. Here Max's eyes fall on the creatures of green color, which are called Ogglies. He gets shocked to see them. Ogglies was sitting inside this garbage with great pleasure. He looks in front of him where his professor was about to turn on the machine to finish the garbage. If he had turned on the machine, then Ogglies would also go inside the machine with the garbage and finish it. He was far away, so he immediately calls his friend to turn off the machine, but before they turn off the machine, Ogglies' grandmother goes inside the machine. Seeing this, all the Ogglies were worried. The professor was already worried to see these creatures. Ogglies quickly picks up the professor's machine to save their grandmother and shakes it hard. Because of it, their grandmother had finally come out. It was a big deal for Ogglies to be in this city. Max thinks that he should tell this to his dad, means the mayor. When he comes to his office, his mom was there instead of his dad, who was scolding him for going to the garbage pile. Seeing a project file on his mom's table, he also understands that his mom is thinking of finishing the pile of garbage and making a mall here, although this was a good plan. But now that Ogglies had come to stay at that place, in this case, when the pile of garbage is finished, their house would also end. And thinking this, Max becomes sad. As Max gets sad, he calls his friend and tells him everything, how his mom wants to make a mall instead of a pile of garbage. Both of them think that to save Ogglies' life, they should tell this to Ogglies. When they go to Ogglies, Ogglies does not give them much lift, nor do they pay attention to their words. Instead, they sit on their dragon and start roaming. Now Ogglies' children were standing here, whom Max tells about his mom's plan. To save Ogglies' house, he had to somehow stop this plan. Max could not say anything to his mom, yes. However, they could talk to the builder who had proposed this plan to Mrs. Mayor. We are shown the builder, who was telling his men that I made Mrs. Mayor a good fool. I took money from them to make a mall and did not even talk to them to finish the garbage. I will just pick up that garbage and throw it somewhere else, and there I will make a mall and earn a lot of money. On the other hand, it is shown that all the rest of the Ogglies had come to the city by sitting on their dragon. As they came, they started eating all the garbage in the city. Seeing them ingest this trash makes them all feel disgusted. They hide from them while considering them evil and fearing them. Anyway, Ogglies had done their work and returned to their house, i.e. the pile of garbage. The next day, when the builder came to vacate this place from the garbage, he becomes furious to see Ogglies. He had to make a mall here. Ogglies thought that the builder had come to make friends with them, and they offer him food. But the builder treats Ogglies very badly and leaves from there while threatening them. If you do not vacate this place in a few days, I will finish you all. Here we see that Max and Ogglies' children had also come and tells them that this builder wants to make a big mall here soon. All the garbage will be picked up from here, and you will have to leave this place. Hearing this, Ogglies becomes sad. Here the builder had also told all the things about Ogglies to Mrs. Mayor. He says strange creatures of green color have started living in that pile of garbage, and if you want to make this city better, then you will have to remove these green creatures from your city. It was so strange to remove someone from his city, and thinking this, Mrs. Mayor had a headache. She asks Professor Doctor of Max for a headache medicine for herself, and by mistake, the professor gives Ogglies serum instead of a headache medicine to Mrs. Mayor. The scene cuts and we are shown Ogglies, who are upset because of leaving this place. They had got such a good place after a long time, and now don't know what was going to happen. Here Mrs. Mayor had taken Ogglies serum. After a while it is shown that after some changes, she suddenly turned into an Ogglie who is seen by Max. Max gets scared to see her, and his mom, who turned into an Ogglie, ran away from here and went to the pile of garbage because living in garbage and eating garbage was their nature. Max also follows his mom to the pile of garbage, where he gets surprised to see that his mom was eating a lot of garbage with a lot of joy. Here he also sees the builder, who was planting a bomb in this pile of garbage to finish Ogglies. Here it is shown that with time, the effect of Ogglies serum on Max's mom, i.e. Mrs. Mayor, was also diminishing. The builder again comes to meet her, who had talked to her about Ogglies. Now, because Mrs. Mayor was also good and did not want to throw Ogglies out of here, she now fixes a meeting with Ogglies along with the citizens to find a middle way, where the citizens were not even able to see Ogglies instead of accepting them because Ogglies were dirty and smelly. In addition, flies were also flying on them. Seeing this behavior of the citizens for Ogglies, Mrs. Mayor starts having a headache again, and she takes Ogglie serum again instead of headache medicine. Like this, she suddenly turned into an Ogglie in front of everyone. Mrs. Mayor's turning into an Ogglie in front of everyone benefits the builder the most. Knowing this, Mrs. Mayor does not want to throw Ogglies out of her city and wants to make her city better. Meanwhile, his plan was being failed. Taking advantage of the opportunity, he starts inciting the people of the city against Mrs. Mayor and says, Look, Mrs. Mayor is also an Ogglie, that's why she is supporting Ogglies. In this way she will always keep you in this filth. After hearing so much nonsense, before the people of the city do anything to Mrs. Mayor, Ogglies come forward to save her and take her away from here by sitting on their dragon. Here, Max's Professor Doctor, who had come to this meeting, had seen that Mrs. Mayor had taken Ogglies serum instead of headache medicine. Before it was too late, he followed Mrs. Mayor with the antidote of this serum. Here we find out that yesterday, the builder had planted a bomb near the garbage to finish Ogglies' house. Ogglies' house was spared because the bomb was damaged, and in this anger, now the builder comes here with his people. He was ordering his people to remove this garbage from here somehow. Ogglies get angry seeing these people breaking their house, and now they attack the men of the builder. In this anger, the builder now sits on the crane and moves forward to destroy Ogglies' house, means this garbage. Meanwhile, Max tells his mother, Mrs. Mayor, about the wrong intentions of the builder, how he had put Mrs. Mayor in his words. He will never finish this garbage, he will just pick up this garbage and throw it somewhere else. Disease and filth will remain the same, he will just make a mall here and earn money. Hearing all this, Mrs. Mayor becomes furious. That's why she now attacks the builder's crane with Ogglies. The builder gets scared of this attack and comes out of the machine. Meanwhile, we see that Professor Doctor had also reached this place, who had made an antidote of Ogglies serum for Mrs. Mayor. After this, Mrs. Mayor had returned to her human form. Max's friend had now brought the police to catch the builder. The mayor also tells the police to catch this bad man and take him away, but they see that the builder did not stay here. At that time, Ogglies' dragon, who has a very sharp sense of smell, takes out the builder from this pile of garbage while smelling in just a minute, whom the police catches and takes away. The builder was caught, but now it is known that Ogglies don't want to stay here. They say to Mrs. Mayor, we know that the people of this city do not like us at all, that's why we will leave this city. Mrs. Mayor then stops Ogglies and tells that Max, her son, had given her the best idea, that is, they will finish the garbage of this city with the help of Ogglies. In this way, the city will be clean, and Ogglies will also get a place to live here. This idea is liked by Ogglies as well as the citizens. After a few days of all this, we are shown that finally, all the Ogglies had cleaned up all the garbage of this city which was spread by humans. This city had become as beautiful as it was before, where now the people of other cities had also started visiting this city. The real mayor of this city, Max's dad, is also very happy to see the state of the city. This story ends here while showing Ogglies and the people of the city happy together. How did you like this film? Please tell in the comment box. And subscribe to the channel to watch more such movies.